Hey, it's Rick. Welcome to the channel. And today we're going to be doing some experiments on silicone and cure inhibition. So I've got this part that I designed and 3D printed on my FDM printer, but I mean the quality is okay, but FDM's not that great for resolution, and it does take about 30 hours to print this. So what I'd like to do is print it on my resin printer, then make a mold from silicone, and then cast it in plastic. Now the problem with this, from what I've read, is that 3D printer resins don't react well with silicone, or rather the silicone doesn't react well with them. Platinum cured silicone, in particular, is known for cure inhibition. If it touches a surface it doesn't like while it's curing, it won't cure and it'll stay gooey. So I'm going to be doing experiments to see if I can overcome that as cheaply as possible without having to buy any special chemicals or anything, and without having to put any sealers or coatings onto it. Because once you coat it with something, you're reducing the detail of the model, and that's not what I'm looking for. I'm starting here with a standard Elegoo gray resin. This is about 45 bucks a liter if you buy it from Amazon, at least here in Canada. Now there's other resins I've read about online that apparently don't have problems with cure inhibition, but they could be like $500 a liter. There's some very expensive resins out there. I'm just printing it on my Elegoo Mars, and then I printed this box off of Thingiverse to hold this UV light that I got on Amazon. This is going to be what I use to expose the actual resin. I'm going to try a few different times to start, and we'll see how that goes. I just printed some standard test cubes. Nothing special about them. I tried a few different supports. This is really some of the first stuff I've ever printed on my resin printer. It's interesting to note that they do change color when you cure them. I don't know why that is, and then I found that after baking, they change color back again. So what I'm using here is Smooth On Mold Star 15 Slow. It is a platinum cured silicone. It's got a pot life of 50 minutes and a cure time of 4 hours. I'm letting it cure for 24 hours in these tests just to make sure that there's absolutely no chance it didn't go off because it wasn't left for long enough. The first test involves 3 different prints, one cured for 5 minutes, one cured for an hour, and one cured for 4 hours under the UV light. All 3 of them experienced cure inhibition. There's some gooey residue on the outside of the actual resin part, and then when you look inside of the silicone, it's got a lot of large bubbles, but it's also gooey still. It hasn't cured, and like I said, this is after 24 hours of being left to cure, so it should be plenty cured by now. So apparently exposure time doesn't really make a difference. You could expose it, for 24 hours and see if that helps, but I don't think it's going to. Now you could argue that the bubbles are just because the silicone wasn't degassed in a vacuum chamber, but if that were the case, I think you get bubbles all the way through, and I cut some of these in half, the actual silicone down the middle. There's no bubbles internally, and there's no bubbles where the silicone touches the plastic cup that it was poured into. The only place that has the bubbles is against the actual 3D printed resin. There is a chemical product from Smooth On called Inhibit X, which supposedly, according to the SDS sheet, is just naphtha. And you dip your parts in that, or you brush it on, you give it several coats, and whatever it does to the resin, it's supposed to prevent cure inhibition. So what I'm trying here is my chemical collection. I'm trying some turpentine, toluol, methyl hydrate, rubber cement thinner, which according to the label is pure naphtha, xylene, and methyl ethyl ketone. Each one of these parts is going to be soaked for 1 minute, then pulled out and allowed to air dry, and then repeated again 5 times. So I made sure they've got pretty good coverage. I've switched here to a small ice cube tray that I bought at the dollar store, which was a mistake. It turns out only half of it is plastic that won't cause cure inhibition. The actual silicone bottom of the tray does cause cure inhibition. I've also tried pouring the silicone onto nitrile gloves because I read that that will cause cure inhibition as well. And it turns out that is accurate, it will. So this stuff is really sensitive to just about everything. You can see here after 24 hours of curing, the stuff is still gooey where it's touched the nitrile gloves. These were brand new gloves, there was nothing on them. So the bottom of these parts have come out gooey where they touch the silicone in the bottom of the ice cube tray, but that's not going to affect the internal parts. So this was the best sample of the bunch, and it was the only sample that was actually cooked in the oven. I cooked it for, I believe, 4 hours at about 180 degrees Fahrenheit, and it actually wasn't gooey at all. Now there's still bubbles inside the silicone, very, very slight. You can't really see them on video, but when you look close with the naked eye, you can see them. All of these parts were simply cured for 4 hours under the UV light, and then the various chemical dip processes were applied, and all of them pretty much have cure inhibition. The xylene and the toluol were probably the best of the bunch, just in terms of what I'm finding inside the mold, but everything else was pretty much a failure. I'm also going to be trying this smooth-on universal mold release and see if that has any cure inhibition problems with this silicone. So 2 of these models will be dipped, one into xylene, one into toluol. That'll be repeated 5 times. They're dipped for 1 minute and then air dried between times. And then the third one is the control. It's got no dip whatsoever. But like I said, they've all been UV cured and they've all been baked in the oven. I've gone back to using the original cups I was using the first time, simply because of the cure inhibition problems with the ice cube tray. All of these pretty much came out the same. There was no gooiness, no apparent cure inhibition, but there are small bubbles still where the silicone has touched the resin. Didn't seem to make a difference if they were dipped or not. The conclusion I came to after this round of testing was that the chemical dips really have no benefit whatsoever. They don't seem to have any change in cure inhibition, but the cooking in the oven definitely has a benefit. 4 hours at about 180 degrees Fahrenheit definitely seems to prevent the silicone from getting gooey. For this round of testing, I decided to add another cheap $45 a liter resin. So this is Phrozen's water washable resin, but I'm not really sure because if you look at the way to rinse, it says clean with alcohol and dry with an air gun, and the color is water washable model gray. I hope that's just a typo or a mistranslation or something, because that would be kind of stupid if the color is called water washable gray. In this one, I thought I would paint some of the silicone onto some of the models first, in case the way I'm pouring the silicone is causing the bubbles to happen against the resin. I know that a lot of times people will paint the silicone on first just to prevent any bubble problems. Usually that's in something that's got cracks and crevices where it would pick up bubbles, and these are just smooth surfaces, but I thought I'd give it a shot anyway. These were all baked for 12 hours in the oven at 180 degrees Fahrenheit, 93 Celsius, to see if increasing the baking time would prevent the bubble problem I was getting in the silicone in the previous tests. It turns out that baking it longer actually causes it to become really, really brittle. I accidentally dropped a couple of these on the floor and they split right down the middle. There was no improvement in the bubble situation by brushing the silicone onto the resin parts. All of these came out pretty much the same as the last test. At 12 hours of oven curing and 4 hours of UV curing, there's no gooiness at all to the silicone, but there's still tiny bubbles in the silicone where it's touched the resin. The frozen resin part that wasn't cured in the oven definitely has cure inhibition problems. You can see how there's still, after 24 hours, gooey silicone on the resin. Conclusions. If you're using cheap resin, like the Elegoo resin at 50 bucks a liter, and you're using platinum cured silicone, and you don't want it to be gooey, curing it with a UV light for 4 hours and then cooking it in an oven for 4 hours at 180 degrees Fahrenheit or 82 degrees Celsius will prevent the silicone from being gooey. The next thing I think I'm going to try to get rid of the bubbles is to cure it in an actual vacuum chamber. I do have a vacuum pump. I was going to build a vacuum chamber based on the Veg Oil Guy's video, which I'll put a link to in the description, and we'll see how that goes, so stay tuned for another video on this. I hope some of you have found this useful. If you have, click like and subscribe, and stay tuned for future videos. Thanks for watching.